Welcome back to radforlife.com, the home of the RAD SEL lessons. This is lesson 9, taking notice, looking around. In lesson 8, we learned about taking notice, looking in. That strategy challenged us to notice what was happening inside us, to notice our thoughts and feelings so we could accept them rather than fight with them. We practiced saying things like, I'm noticing I'm having the thought that, or I'm noticing I'm having the feeling of, to remind ourselves that we have thoughts and feelings, but we are not those thoughts and feelings. Looking in can help us get unstuck from roadblocks by noticing what's going on inside so we can make rad moves that align with our values. Now it's time to meet looking in's non-identical twin, taking notice, looking around. Like looking in, looking around is a rad strategy to help when roadblocks show up. The difference is where you focus your attention. Looking in means noticing what's going on inside, noticing your thoughts and feelings. In contrast, looking around means turning your attention outward to what you're doing, what's happening around you, and what's there in the world you're a part of right now. Both strategies are about purposefully paying attention. When we look in, we focus on our inner world. When we look around, we focus on the outer world, what you're seeing and feeling right now based on where you are and what you're doing in that particular moment. Just like looking in, when you take notice by looking around, you're not trying to escape or avoid your uncomfortable thoughts or feelings. You simply let them exist while you focus on what you're doing and what's around you. This can be done anytime, while doing something you love, while doing chores you'd rather skip, and especially when roadblocks show up. Looking around usually has 2 steps. Step 1, take a slow breath and notice your breathing. Step 2, shift your attention outward. Notice what you see, hear, smell, taste, or touch. In addition, as with looking in, when you do this, you can use it as a chance to reflect on your values and notice if your actions align with them. Once again, it's important to note that when you look around, you're not distracting yourself from your roadblocks. Rather, looking around is another form of acceptance. You're reminding yourself, yes, these thoughts and feelings are here, and I can still notice the world around me and keep doing what matters. Also, you might be wondering, why start with breathing? Focusing on your breathing is a really great starting place for 2 reasons. First, your breath is always with you. It's something steady to focus on when your mind feels really busy or when roadblocks start showing up. Second, noticing your breathing helps you slow down just enough to notice what's happening around you and what's important to you, instead of getting pulled into those roadblocks. You might also be wondering, isn't breathing more of an inside thing? Shouldn't it be part of looking in? Also a good question, and yes, breathing could be used when you're looking in. However, when we look around, we're focusing on what we're doing rather than what we're thinking or feeling. And breathing is something we're always doing. That shift from thinking to doing is what makes it fit so well with looking around. In the end, this isn't a detail to worry too much about. As you'll see, we can use looking in and looking around together even. Now, in my instructions for looking around, I said, shift your attention outward. Notice what you see, hear, smell, taste, or touch. Do you need to use all your senses every time? The answer is no. We want to stay flexible with how we take notice. The goal isn't to check off every sense. The goal in looking around is to set your attention on what you're doing and use the senses that make sense. If you're baking cookies, smell and taste make sense. If you're cleaning old gym shoes, you might want to focus on other things than smell and taste. Either way, when you do this, your uncomfortable thoughts and feelings may fade into the background. They're still there, but they're less important than the rad moves you're making. Let's look at an example. A youth is playing in a big basketball game and values competition and teamwork. They feel nervous and thoughts like, I might mess up, keep popping up. Instead of getting stuck by these roadblocks, they take notice by looking around. They focus on the feel of the ball, the sound of the crowd, the color of the court. By doing this, they follow their values and keep playing. The nervousness is still there, but it doesn't stop them. Now, what happens if when you look around, you notice that you're acting in a way that doesn't align with your values? You're making not rad moves. Imagine in the last scenario, the youth faked an injury to get out of the game. Looking around shouldn't be used as an excuse to do not rad moves. You can't say, well, I was feeling bad about what I was doing, but then I used this looking around trick and I was able to keep doing that thing that goes against my values. Rather, if this happens, looking around may be an opportunity for you to reflect on your values and change your actions, turning a not rad move into a rad move. In this way, when you look around, you can also use that moment to reflect on your values. You can ask yourself, are my actions right now rad moves in line with what's important to me? This helps you stay grounded, not just in your environment, but in your purpose, your values. Noticing your surroundings and reflecting on your values work together. One keeps you aware of where you are, the other keeps you true to who you want to be. Earlier I mentioned that you can even combine looking in and looking around. For example, maybe you're doing some training for a new job and you're worried you're messing it up. You take notice, first by looking in. I'm noticing I'm having the thought that I'll mess this up. Then you look around, noticing your breathing, the ground under your feet, the light in the room, and the sounds around you. You take pride in the fact that you're following your values of independence, carrying on with your training. Here's another example. Someone is about to perform a song they wrote. Their mind says, everyone will think this is bad, and a wave of nerves hits. They take notice by looking in. I'm noticing I'm having the thought that people might not like it. Then they look around. They feel the weight of the guitar, hear the chatter in the room, and see their friends waiting. They remind themselves that sharing their music connects to their value of creativity and self-expression. So they play, uncomfortable feelings and all, making a rad move. Looking in and looking around can be used separately or together. Both help you accept your roadblocks and follow your values. They remind you that you can notice what's happening, inside and out, without letting your mind or feelings control your next move. So next time you feel stuck, try taking notice. Look in and notice what's inside. Then look around, breathe, and notice what's around you. Reflect on your values and choose to do what's important to you. That's the ultimate rad combo. Until next time, be rad.